Now we'll do it. Hello, boys and girls of YouTube. We're starting off with Kleena because fuck you. Just kidding. Somebody edit that out. They just absolutely gonna have to edit that out. Starting off with Kleena, so you guys can't cry in the comments. We already know she's broken. If you don't think she's broken, you're bronze. If you're bronze, no one cares what you think. Straight up. Sorry, it is what it is. But the reason for Kleena being OP is because her insta burst from her ult is overtuned and can one-shot you. If you're presetting them in the walls properly, they're pretty much unstoppable. If you need an example of this, we went ahead and clipped just from a random game tonight. This is level 6. Of some kind. This is a support Achilles.
Oh my god!
He's dead. If you need to watch it again. 3 ults proc. No damage has been done yet. Yeah. No. Now damage starts.
Oh,
and his health bar's gone. If you needed a late game example to understand why the ult is OP, here's another one. This is late game. Me 5 and 6, not even ahead. On Kleena against a Kali who's even. He's about the same scoreline as me.
hello, barbecue.
You can't do much to. You can't react to this. Like that damage is stupid. That damage is not okay. It's not. There's no skill involved in what I just did. It's minimal skill. It just has to be not putting it in bad spots. Like literally, it's not even in good spots. It's just not putting the ult in bad spots. If you use wall ults properly, it's OP by itself, and then the whole kit just does too much damage. Will be played in Pro League every game? Probably not, because it can be played around. You can respect the fact that she'll be in walls. You can ward up a bunch. You can group up. You can cripple her. But there's no world where she isn't the best god in the game right now, and you're trolling. And I'm pretty sure I don't know if that's nerfed Kleena. Today is a patch day. It's not the big patch day, so I'm not sure if she's nerfed now or next patch. But either way, even that nerf isn't going to be enough because it's like a 10% scaling nerf. It is nowhere near enough. As you can see, level 6. I only have 1 item. It's not the scaling that's doing all the damage there. It's the base damage. Achilles is actually doing really, really well in the solo lane. Oddly enough, like you're seeing it played in the Pro League against Cthulhu and a bunch of other gods just because of the aggression you have. There's a way you can play him in lane and get a level 2 kill like every game. This one dude, Relentless one. He is the brother to one of the minor league players. And I think he might play in the minor league or one of the other leagues. He's a beast. But he pretty much level 2 kills every single solo laner. And then as soon as he kills them, he finishes clearing the wave and he rotates the mid and kills the mid too. So he gets like 2 to 3 kills within the first 2 to 3 minutes. And it's super strong. That's just one strategy. It's being played in the Pro League at just a base good matchup against a lot of the Guardians because you can kill them. You can execute them. Very strong warrior right now. Agni, a lot better. As this says, solid picks in most games. He is solid in most games. Not going to be perfect every game. You are going to get dove, but you're getting dove on most mages right now. That's why you're seeing a lot of people avoid playing a lot of these regular mages. But they buffed him. They gave him more burst, so it's always going to be better. He was usually in the average area. I think for most of your games, bronze, silver, gold, plat, even up in the diamond, he's actually a very strong pick because early game, as long as you clear safely, once you get to level 5, you actually do more poke than most gods, and most people don't know how to handle it. Muzan Cab is getting a buff. I'm going to throw him into good for now. When the buff comes through, we might see if he's better. His ult is getting 30% pen shred, right? Like you ult somebody and then you shred 30% of their pen, which is nuts for killing tanks that are diving you. And then they did something else. They added a slow to the ult, I think, like a 30% slow or a 25% slow or something, or 40% slow. So pretty much if you are playing Muzan Cab in a solo or somebody dives you, you ult them and then they just die is pretty much how it works out. Pwash, I'm going to put Pwash in situational because Book of the Dead is getting a buff. If Book of the Dead and those builds take over, Pwash will get played a little bit. He will not be insane. He will not be the best god in the game, but his viability will go up because I don't think he's actually trash right now. I think it's just his lack of mobility makes it hard to play. But once you're tankier with Book of the Dead builds, if this blue build style breastplate build takes over, he's going to be played. Situational, but played. Ama, throwing her an average. She isn't doing much in the game, but she isn't bad. On her, putting him in good. He's fallen out of the meta a little bit. He's still played a lot, but a lot of these matchups do well into him. So he's not something you're just top picking. You're kind of filling in, and he's doing good. He's a good matchup as long as you aren't picking him to counter matchups. Anubis. I'll put Anubis in situational because the situation is the other team stupid enough to not build anti-heal? If they understand building anti-heal as their first item, you're probably going to get wrecked on Anubis. Like, you're almost guaranteed to just get railed on Anubis. If they're stupid and they push it off or they never build anti-heal, you'll get away with playing the god. That's why he's situational. Quanger Banger, I'm going to put him in average right now. I don't see him peaking off of anything changing. He's not doing great. People are almost playing like Soul and Kronos in the jungle more than Quang for magic damage, which is weird. All the Guardians are good in the jungle for magic damage. So Quang's kind of like, he's there and you can play him, but there's no reason to play him over everything else. It's almost pointless. Aphrodite, I'm going to throw her up into the average tier as well. Similar situation to these gods where anti-heal is going to fully counter you, but even if they have anti-heal, you can use your ultimate, you can do a lot of damage, and you guys can disengage from fights and heal off of that. You don't have to be in a fight to heal like Anubis. Apollo, average. His global ult isn't doing enough right now in the game. It's not bad. It's probably his best aspect, but it's not doing enough. The builds aren't really catering crazy towards him. There's no auto attack builds. There's no Odysseus bow, Silver Branch builds that are making him pop. He's just super average compared to all these other hunters that have a bunch of utility in team fights. Arachne, I'm putting Arachne in average. Apparently he's getting banned in bronze games, but pretty much all auto attacks get banned in bronze games. And in all of my top 5 jungle videos ever, they say, why isn't Arachne in this video? Because Arachne's butt cheeks. Arachne's not actually good, especially right now. Auto attack build is not good. Ability based build is not good. The problem is in your low games, like if you're one of those people who's like, I think Arachne's great, what happens is anyone runs at you and starts autoing, you turn and run away because you're a bitch. Straight up. You don't know what to do. You freak out because someone's autoing you. In big boy games, if an Arachne walks at me, he fucking dies. He's dead. You hit him with 1 CC and he's dead. That's it. Because top level players don't freak out just because someone's autoing you. So you know. Ares is getting played a lot, and I think Ares is a really good pick right now. Counters a lot of the matchups. Can counter gods like Kleena once she comes into the meta, into the ranked meta. Very solid in lane, super safe with the builds, can be very, very tanky. Good engage god, does a lot of damage. Artemis has fallen off a good amount, doesn't do as much. The low mobility, and she never fully peaked. She was getting played a lot more, and she does well in lower level games for the same reason as Arachne and Kali. If you ult and start running at people, they freak out and they let you kill them. In bigger boy games, that doesn't happen. Her immobility gets her killed. The CC immunity is not enough. Artio, I'm going to say Artio is pretty broken right now, even after the nerfs. With the builds that are in the game right now, with her team fight presence, she's basically King Arthur, Magic Guardian King Arthur right now, on steroids because of the builds. So Artio is a god I ban in every single rank game, and I'm pretty sure I've only seen her played once out of my last like 30 rank games. She is very, very strong and should not be allowed through. She kind of runs games out of the solo lane. Athena's a good pick for ranked. At a competitive level, it falls off a bit, but in ranked, the global presence as well as just a hard taunt, being able to burn beads or just engage in every fight is too valuable to not, throw in a good tier and be playing. Athena is far above average. Alan, shut your mouth. Awelix, I'm gonna put Awelix in the good play. She can be played in every team comp. She peaks when you have knockups and leaps in the game, right? Like the other team has leaps or you have knockups. She's gonna peak there because her options just grow, right? The more options she has, the different ways she can play the game, the more impact she has. But with the current build and with the early pressure jungles get, especially with the early mobility, Awelix is kind of really peaking in my mind. And like with everything I see, whenever I see her played, she just does very well. Knockup is the strongest CC in the game. She has it. Her ultimate's on a very short cooldown and she does a lot of damage while also being safe with the flip to avoid damage. Baba Yaga, I'm gonna put Baba in average. Safer god, higher skill cap, and even if you are really, really good at the god, she's still average compared to most of these other mages. She is still diveable. Her ultimate is super frustrating in terms of if you're diving her, but it's not enough. The god just doesn't have enough because it has no real CC. The only time I see the god doing enough is when you RNG silences and slows on your one at the perfect time, which is extremely rare. Bacchus, throwing Bacchus in average, just good to have an aggressive support in your pool, I guess. Not the best lane compared to some of these other gods, but not a bad lane. Does have a really good dive, but doesn't have a really good peel. Does a lot of damage. Once again, doesn't really help the actual backline that much. He's kind of a risky pick. He's fun to play, but he does what he needs to do. Bakasura, I think Bakasura is ass. There is no reason to play this god right now. If you're like, but auto attack, then play an auto attack god. Play Arachne or play Kali. There's no reason to play Bakasura right now. It's not even situational. There's no reason to play him. All the auto attack items keep getting nerfs. All the ability items are buffed. The hybrid items are buffed. The defensive items are buffed. There's no reason to play Bakasura. He has no CC. His clear isn't better than anybody's. His rotations aren't better than anybody's. There's no reason to play him over every other assassin in the game. I'm sorry. It's the way it is. I actually think he might be the worst assassin in the game. Borderline one of the worst gods in the game. Next to like current Zeus pre-buff, current Nox, and like what? Kumba? Maybe Kumba? I hate Bakasura. Like I like playing him. I just hate him in the game. He's just not valuable. Naja, yeah, down there with Naja. Baron, I'm gonna put Baron up here. I want to say Baron's good. I'd much rather have a Baron mid than like maybe not. Baba and Baron are kind of in the same tier. I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna move Baba up because she does do damage. She's safe. She's just not as good as some of these other mages. She's kind of Agni level. And I'm gonna put Baron up here. This is more realistic to me. 100% more realistic to me. I'm okay with having these in my game. I hate having Artemis. I'm not a fan of having Apollo. Most Afro, yeah, this is 100%. Baron's good because you have sustain and people don't know how to play around it, and they don't build anti on the Baron because they don't think it's a lot of sustain, but it is. Plus the fact that you have a CC immune ult that is super disruptive. If you're playing a very grouped team comp, then Baron just spikes. He does great. Bastet. Current Bastet, average. Really good when your ult's up. But other than that, in the game, you don't do a lot. If your ult is up late game, you're gonna instant kill somebody. If your ult's not up, you'll do some damage, but it's nowhere near as scary, right? That's that with the ultimate. I'm not a super fan of the ultimate because I think it's too slow. I think it takes way too long to cast. But I'm gonna throw the Bastet up into the good tier because now she has a team fight presence outside of just one-shotting. She can set up for her team. She can start fights for her team. In my mind, I see like tower stalemates or Phoenix stalemates where the other team isn't, he's kind of defending good and you can't really get in there. Bastet's going to be the way you get in there. You pluck somebody over the wall, they don't beads fast enough, or you make them insta beads and then your support can dive and you never have to get out of position. It's also on a 40-second cooldown, I think, right? Is it a 42-second cooldown at max rank with full CDR? Something around there. I think Bastet is going to be more valuable in a team fight sense, less valuable in a I'm going to one-shot somebody sense. Bastet's actually always been doing well in like your lower level games because you ult and you one-shot somebody. I think she's going to do better in the higher games. I'm not so sold on her being a top ranked and comp playing god, but she's definitely going to have more presence. I think the ult might need another tweak, maybe more damage, maybe a quality of life change to fully put her up in like a super strong tier. Bologna's been doing better. I'm going to put Bologna in the good tier. Most auto attack gods in general aren't that good. Like, you're not playing Bologna jungle, but in the solo lane, having the sustain, we're seeing Death Toll get buffed again, which might help with the Bologna being played even more. I'm going to throw her in a good tier because she does enough, but she's not really top pick, and she's not something you need to prioritize, but she is good. Kabrakan, I'm going to put into like the average tier. He's kind of fallen off. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's people realize you could play into him. I don't know if it's the current meta and the gods being played, but he's really fallen off. You're not playing him in the jungle because Assassin's going to one-shot you. You might play him in solo, but it's kind of risky. And then in support, it just doesn't compare to the other supports. So we're going to put him in average. Camazotz is super strong. One of the best junglers in the game right now. That isn't banned every game. Very safe. Very strong. High damage. Good poke. Good clear. Good rotations. Does amazing with the ability-based builds. Kama is played in pro scene and top ranked in minor league. He's like a high prioritized god right now, and I don't really think much stops him and fully counters him other than trying to shut him down early or just, you know, stalemating, having even matchups as much as possible. Cerberus, good pick. He can play support, he can play solo, has magic pen, has CC, does a lot of damage even when fully built defense, has a really good engage. I like Cerberus in all of my games as a support god. CERN, situational. He doesn't do enough. His kit doesn't bring enough to the table. They buffed his ult, but it was kind of a weird buff where it just hits. Now his ult does damage to creeps and fire and gold, right? Like it jungle camps and creeps, which really doesn't do enough because the rest of his kit is ass. I think they need to redo his passive because his passive is basically, hey, go into melee range, you'll do more damage, which kind of only comes into play when a jungler's diving you or you're killing camps. So why is that on a hunter? There needs to be something more viable in team fights, in my opinion. If they change that, maybe he gets better, maybe not. Chalk, average. He's doing better right now, but he still falls off late game. Still butt cheeks late game no matter what you do. Chunga, situational as fuck because all of her damage is up close. She has to be in the mix of the team fight as a mage, which is hyper risky. Charybdis, very strong. Been buffed 45 times. Went from never being seen in the pro league to being played all the time now. The builds suit her. She's hyper safe. Her 3 makes her unkillable. Her ult is also a really good disengage. Maybe not the best ult for actual team fighting, but an amazing disengage and repositioning ult. And then on top of that, she has the pen shred, so she can kill tanks off of her 2. And her 1 is just allowing her to have clear and have really good trade damage. So Charybdis is really just spiked heavily. Chernobonger, average tier. Global ult's nice, but outside of that, the rest of the kit isn't much. There's the safety in the 3, which is awesome, but it doesn't even get neat. Like, you look at Chernobog's kit and you're like, oh, Chernobog is a doo-doo version of Charybdis with a global ult, where global ults are not that valuable in Smite because the map is so fucking small that everyone can rotate across the whole map in 5 seconds. So there's no world where Charybdis is being super prioritized right now. Maybe if the map gets bigger or they tweak one of his abilities or an auto attack speed build becomes super meta again. But for now, he's going to sit in the average tier. Chiron, I want to put Chiron in this tier, but he kind of gets played by a lot of the hunters. I'm going to leave him in good tier because I know in your games he's doing well, even though he kind of like peaked and then dipped down a bit and auto attack. Like these mixed gods like Charybdis have really filled back into those slots. Chiron is still super safe, super easy to play, has a long range ult. You just have to position properly on him. And watch your matchups, but he is a good pick for you to just grab anytime you're comfortable playing a hybrid ability auto attack build. Kronos, average. He just hasn't peaked with the other mages, and it's because the other mages became super safe with this Stone of Fall build and mannequins. Kronos is already safe. He already has his ultimate. It's not going to make him that much better. He already like isn't a pro. You're either insta killing Kronos or you're not targeting him because he's going to live, and he just hasn't seen the play spike that these other gods have seen. So Kronos is going to stay in the average tier. Cthulhu, almost broken. There's other gods that are better and have to be banned. If 1 or 2 other gods got slightly nerfed and tweaked out of the broken tier, Cthulhu goes up here. He's easy as hell to play. His healing is massive in his ultimate. It's very underrated. He isn't targeted because of how tanky he is and because most gods in the game aren't shredding super tanky guardians out of the solo lane right now. And your laning phase is pretty much free because your ultimate makes you unkillable. You have insane peel. You have good mobility. And you have a disruption with your 1 after you've autoed a couple times. Cthulhu is fucking, it's broken. It's not broken, sorry. Almost broken. Almost broken. Just about there. Cucullin, I'm going to throw in the good tier. Warriors are being played again with either a blue stone into a defensive item or a sigil / warrior axe into an offensive item. And this brought back a lot of warriors. It put gods like Cucullin back into the meta and being played again and not being bad picks. They still get their high pressure. They still have good rotation. So Cucullin's going to go in the good tier. Cupid, situational. There isn't really much of a reason to play him. He doesn't do anything that the other hunters don't do. His ult's kind of cool, but even if it hits you, it is not enough. It does not do enough in any world. I think if they made it where Cupid ult was almost like the cripple into a hard stun, where if you like a 2-second stun, where if you hit that, you are stunned even if you're getting killed, Cupid would spike. But with current ult and current kits, just not enough. Not enough at all. Dodgy for me is going to go up into the good tier. I would say super strong, but she's only super strong when you're playing into a team comp that has no CC immune ultimates. So if you see gods like Merlin, Thoth, Erlong Shen, who else, dude? Ardio, any of these type of gods picked early before you pick Dodgy hard counters them with the ultimate because they don't have CC immune ultimates. That's when Dodgy would be super strong. In the 99% of the comps, she is just about super strong, but we're gonna leave her in good tier for now. Danza's being played a little bit more, but he's not spiking. He's not doing great. I really don't know what it is about him that's kind of not allowing him to be tippity top, but he's not there right now. Discordia, average. She's pretty much played for her passive to give to her teammates. She's not a bad god in the game, but really you only play her for the passive, which isn't worth it. Erlang Shen, I'm going to throw Erlang Shen in the average because he's countered by a lot of the picks in the game. Super shut down by gods like Artio. Doesn't have the best matchups into gods like Kamazotz and Dodgy. Even in like a Wheelix does really well into her. He's not, or into him. He's really not the best right now. ESET being played a little bit more. I've actually think I've seen ESET played support more than anything. I don't think she's bad. I think she just takes too long to do everything she needs to do. Her stun ball travels takes too long to travel. The one takes too long to get all the damage off. The ultimate's actually pretty valuable, but it's really pinpoint and precise where if you use it wrong, you become worthless in that team fight. Fafnir, I think Fafnir's really good. Great at objective secure, super safe support, hasn't really changed at all. And he always fills those specific like check marks. He does all those things perfectly. Fenrir, I think Fenrir is pretty good, but I don't think he's as good as everyone wants him to be. He's countered by a lot of picks. He requires people to not buy beads early for you to take full advantage of him. And he's easily turned on because so many things stop his brutalized and you just kill him. So he's going to stay in the average tier. It takes a lot of like accurate target choice. Like your target choices have to be good and your use of abilities have to be good. And it's just hard to be perfect like that all the time. Freya, poo-poo. And it's crazy because I think if they change one thing on her, she's broken. She's like almost there where I wish she was a jungler. If they gave her one thing, if they made her ult go up in the air instantly instead of having a travel time where she could die. And if they gave her some kind of hard CC or like, I don't know. If they added like haste into her too, she'd be broken. She'd be played all the time. Probably be played in ADC more than anything, but I want to see her. I want something to change where she can be played in the jungle because one thing has to change and you could play her in the jungle. They changed that? They changed what? She doesn't take damage while going up. Wait, really? Oh, fuck yeah. That's a good start. Not enough to make her OP. They need to give her like I said, one of the things, something that's like hard CC or movement into her kit, and she'll be super strong. She'll be broken. Oh, it's in the next patch where she won't take damage going up. That's huge. That's nice. They're looking at her at least. They're doing something. Ganesh, I think, is average. I don't think he's as bad as a lot of people say he is. I actually find him very annoying to play against. In the like when he's supporting on the other team, it's really annoying to play with somebody silencing you and just dropping ults to be annoying. He's not as good at any one thing as some others. Like he can't peel as well as Geb, but he can do a little bit of everything, which I think is really nice. Geb is a must ban every game. I think Geb is the one god I will insta ban every game. He does a ton of damage in whatever role he's playing, on top of the fact that he's just insanely annoying. It is insanely hard to play around somebody with a shield, with a knock up, with a high damaging ultimate, with the mobility. He's just a very frustrating god that I feel like, at least at the high levels, he's banned every single game and there's no reason to let him through. Gilgamesh is in a good place right now as a jungler and as a solo laner. I think he's better in the jungle role. He's played as an ability-based jungler and it just fits his kit really well, even after all the changes and even though he was being played auto-attack based for a while. Guan Yu is situational. It's hard to get away with him in the lane, in the solo lane. He's not a good jungler, and he's counterplayed pretty easily because you kind of just kill him while he's ulting, or you build anti-heal so he can't do his job. Hachi's a good pick right now. Semi-safe. Pretty good. Way better than like an Artemis or something because of his safety and his ability to just kind of sit back and chill. Hades, situational. You have to play him perfectly. You have to hope they don't build anti-heal, and you have to get ahead early. A lot of things to try to force. Very situational. Hebo average because once you ult you're dead, and right now realistically it is hard as hell to play Hebo out of the mid lane, and he's just not safe enough in the jungle because all the junglers can dive on top of you. They can knock you up, you're dead. They can hit you with 1 CC, you're dead. A lot of the junglers even have range like Kamazotz and Tsukiyomi. They're gonna outpoke you, which is stupid. Super stupid. Heimdall, I think Heimdall's great. I actually want to throw Heimdall up here in a super strong. I think Heimdall is one of the better hunters. I don't think he's the best, period. But if you're using his 3 properly, you never get ganked. And if you never get ganked, you pretty much just run the late game. You hit too hard. Nobody can trade with you. You have really good auto attack cancel out of your 2. So if anyone dives you, you auto, knock them up and auto them, and they're pretty much dead because those 2 autos should be doing somewhere between 500 and 800 damage, depending on if you go crit or not. And then the knockup's going to do 400 or 500 damage. So it's just a huge insta burst, and it pretty much wins any 1v1 for you. Hell, good, but well, average. Would be good if there's no anti-heal in the game. There's anti-heal in the game. Her range isn't great. She's average. Hera, I think Hera is really good right now. And I think she's going to become broken with the Book of the Dead buff. You're gonna see her running. I think everyone seems to be hyping up the Book of the Dead. I'm kind of following along with it, where I think like a book, Book of the Dead with breastplate. I keep wanting to say breastplate. With a breastplate build, it's gonna make her unkillable. And if you play around a high spamming mage with self peel that can't die with 2 health bars, I really think in the next patch she might get bumped up to be one of the better mages in the game, if not the best mage in the game. We'll see. Hercules average, he's okay at everything. He can be in your face, but late game you pretty much insta killing him even if he is full defense. Horus, similar situation where he's just not fully support and he's not fully warrior. He's just kind of in the middle, teetering, and he's not good enough. Oyi, really good ADC right now. Learn your bounces, learn your positioning, learn how to clear. He is super strong and wins a lot of his matchups. He's also really good at killing tanks. Hunbats. I think Hunbats is one of the better junglers in the game because of his team fight ult, because of the ability-based jungle builds in the game, and just your insta burst is there while being very safe because you have self peel and a leap and movement ability on your 3. Izzy, really good hunter, good beginner hunter, pretty much free clears the lane. I think she's a little overrated by some people, but I do think she's really good. Janice, I'm going to put in the goods here. You need to be good at using your ult. If you never ult for rotations, if you aren't the first one to every fight, you're trolling, you're playing Janice wrong, and you're the reason it's going bad. If you're playing Janice correctly, he's very good. He is high mobility, moves the whole team around. It has really good, consistent, fast poke damage, which is kind of rare on mages. Usually mages are hitting really fucking hard, kind of avoiding the fight for a couple seconds. Janice is kind of hitting hard and then going around the corner and then hitting hard and then going around another corner and just repeating. Jingwei, average. She's just super safe as usual. She's like almost as safe as Charybdis, but nowhere near as useful. Period. Yorm, average. He didn't peak with all the other guardians, and if this, like, the only build people have been running is the diamond arrow build. Overrated. You're a solo laner who dives by being out of the map, and people don't even have to worry about you. So you're not even there. You just don't do enough for your team in team fights. Kali, overrated by a bunch of lower level players. She's extremely average. Every motherfucker is like, with Kali, I leap into the back line and I win every game. Bitch, no, you don't. You have a 30% win rate on Kali. You lose every game. Doesn't matter if you make it to late game. There's no late game gods in Smite right now. Everybody's late game. Thanatos is late game right now. That's not how the game works. There is so much CC, so much insta burst, and so many defensive abilities to burn through that time at this, all while you're getting bursted, that you can't just run around killing everybody on Kali. Doesn't happen. She's average. The auto attack items have been nerfed and haven't been buffed in a while. She is average. Kepri, really good support right now because junglers are back into the meta. Assassin initiation junglers are back in the meta. If you're solo and your jungler are hard diving the front line, and you're playing Kepri, you can play the middle ground where you either peel for the back line or you peel for that jungler. Keep them alive, win the game. That simple. Like literally you semi-initiate a fight, you get a root, you get a quick pluck, and then you throw your ult on the jungler, you win the game. Period. That's it. King Arthur, he's still pretty good. I'm like in between these two. I'm gonna put him in average for now because he's getting countered by a lot of the Guardians and getting outplayed by a lot of the Guardians. He's not as shit, and we're seeing buffs to all those solo lane items again because Warriors fell out of meta for 5 minutes and everybody cried about it. So we might see him bump up with the next patch. We'll see how that goes. Kukulkan average, mainly because if you missed your ultimate, you're kind of not gonna do enough, and then your mobility is limited. Kumba's poo-poo, doesn't do anything. Once they nerfed his damage forever ago, like we say every time, he's still doo-doo. Kuzimbo is situational. You can play him as a support, you can play him as a solo, but he's semi-average at all of it. At both. He doesn't have good lane clear for solo. He doesn't have good lane clear for support. He doesn't peel great for everybody, but he does have a little bit of peel. He has a cool ultimate that's great for that disruption, but the second that 3-4 seconds of your ultimate's up, you don't do enough. So he's going to sit in the situational tier forever. Loki is super strong right now, especially in your casuals and your rank game, because as soon as people aren't grouping, which pretty much never happens in your games, Loki will shred everybody. Late game, with whatever build you go, you can go crypt build, you can go bum his hammer build, you can bum his spear build, you'll be able to one-shot people without using your ultimate and be able to disengage with that ultimate if you need to, or just go to the next target. If you get an insta-kill and then go to the next target with your ult, you pretty much won the team fight, and that's the game. So Loki is being banned a lot, not every game, but being banned a lot at high levels, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Medusa, situational. Low mobility god where you can interrupt the mobility. The ultimate needs to go through walls for her to be valuable. You just can't hit those ults consistently. If they went through walls, you could get really cool angles and win a lot of team fights off of it with the ultimate. So it'd be dope to see that as a change soon. Mercury, I think Mercury is somewhere in between the good and average tier. I'd say consistently in an average tier, but if you're able to get to late game full build with the one-shot builds, nobody can counterplay that unless they're building Spectral. If they're building Spectral, the rest of your team becomes way more valuable. He would be in good tier if you could consistently do that. It's just difficult to, like, I'm talking like late game. It doesn't matter. And Spectral's getting nerfed, which is cool, but it's a minor nerf. It's not going to change enough. If someone's smart, they'll build Spectral against Mercury. You're not one-shotting them anymore. You're nowhere near as valuable in Mercury. Most people do not build Spectral on mages or hunters or junglers. Junglers a little bit less. It happens sometimes with mages and hunters. They do not build Spectral. So that's why I would say good, but at higher levels, they will build Spectral. You will not do the one-shot build, and you will kind of be worthless in those team fights. What up, Brazy? Merlin, average, because he's dove by everybody. Everybody counters him with dive. Ravana, Dodgy, every Guardian solo, every Warrior solo. I mean, even gods like Soul and Olorun will hard dive and counter a Merlin because it's just not a big enough threat. You just run at him and he can't run away fast enough. Morgan is still really good. She's not great. She's not broken anymore. They've kind of balanced her a lot, but she is still super strong. It's her mobility is where she's limited. So your positioning comes into play, but her damage is all there and her self-peel is still existent, still there. Mulan, I'm going to put in a good tier. Do not play Mulan jungle though. Mulan jungle is not good. I don't care if you get an early lead, 1 out of 10 games, and you stomp in those games. The other 9 games, you do average and you're shit. Solo lane, she's got a lot more value. If you fall behind, all your value's gone. If you stay on par or ahead, you kind of control a good amount of the pace of the game, and you do a lot of damage with the full defense build. Neath, I'm going to throw Neath into the good tier. I think as a hunter, just spamming your ultimate with the ability builds has value. It's a little forced because you do not ever want to fight in your lane. But if you get a lead from your ultimates in other lanes and stuff, then you can start fighting in your lane. She's much stronger than someone like Artemis. Maybe not quite as safe, but her presence in the global fight in the mid lane, which happens a lot. I bet you if you go look through every ranked game, like over the first 15 minutes, almost every fight but 1 or 2 happens in the mid lane, which is going to allow Neath to be valuable in those fights without rotating. So if you're a bad rotator, you don't really get rotating, Neath might be a pick you want to start looking at in the ADC role. Run an ability build and pick up Aussie in the ability build and you'll be good to go. I think Nem is still really good. The ability builds suit Nem. You can one-shot off of your ultimate with auto attack canceling. Nem can run hybrid like auto attack, ability builds. It all still works. And you kind of counter a lot of these Guardians. If you see a Cthulhu, Nem's a good pick into it because you can one-shot it. Nem can trade pretty well into a Loki fight. Nem can trade really well into most fights overall if you're taking 1v1s. Naja, poo-poo. I think Naja doo-doo. I think Naja is the one god that I'd be down for them to fully rework and us just see a whole new kit because Naja just doesn't work. Naja's just not it. Nike is very good right now. I want to say super strong, but he's not played every game. She's not played every game. Sorry, she's really not. She's crazy strong. Full defense with her base damage makes her pretty much like you can't kill her to begin with. And if you do manage to get her low, she ultimates. Her shield's too high. I think they're nerfing her shield a little bit in this next patch. All right, I'll put her in super strong so Alan will shut the fuck up. I'm borderline between these two because she is not played all the time. She's not banned in my rank games. I played like what 30 40 rank games. I think I played against her 3 times and she was never banned. So I maybe at lower levels, maybe just at masters, people don't think she's fun so they don't play her, but I know she has an insanely high win rate. That's why they're nerfing her. They already mentioned it. So I'll put her in super strong. She's just nearly impossible to kill because soul laners are building full defense and she has high base damage. Nox trash and Conquest trash. I'm sorry. A god that requires you to hit 2 abilities to do any damage, stupid. Nua, average. You're not that safe. You pretty much just have a global ult to have a global ult. Odin, banned in most games. I'm going to put him in a super strong. He's not banned in every game. He's banned a lot, and he's picked a lot. Not banned all the time. I'd say he's like one of those gods you kind of can let through if you're looking to ban the Oloruns and the souls and stuff like that. So we're gonna throw Odin in a super strong for now. I don't think he's like you're gonna lose to him every game he's played. He's a little frustrating. Counters a lot of the gods because they don't have leaps that are being played, but definitely not the most broken thing in the world. Now Olorun on the other hand is broken. You build Stone of Fall, you're unkillable. You don't have to have high skill. You have to be able to land auto attacks. If you can get used to using Olorun autos, it's broken. You'll win every single ranked game you're playing Olorun unless you just are the worst positioner in the world because you take no damage. You literally have to be so out of position to die on Olorun. It's crazy. Osiris, average right now. He's fallen off a bit with the auto attack items being nerfed. He's not really great in any position. There's nowhere you're really playing him. Pele, good pick. Pele's always a good pick. Ability build back in meta. Pele being played. Persephone, I'm going to throw an average mainly because most people don't know how to play Persephone. I think she's pretty valuable, but ever since her passive change, she's fallen off a little bit. Poseidon, not safe enough, so we're going to put him in average. Ra, similar boat, not super safe, really easy to dive. Anti-heal is going to be picked up, and you're going to be dove a lot. It's just going to be hard to get away with Ra. Raijin. Raijin saw some nerfs, being played a lot less. I'm going to put Raijin in the average tier right now. I think the nerfs did enough to push him down. Poseidon worse, major trolling. Rama up in the good tier, auto attack, super safe. You're able to dive with the ultimate, which is the big thing. Diving being super meta, like I've talked about. Junglers diving with full damage. Soul Enders diving. These Guardians that are unkillable diving. Well, Rama can help out with that. You ultimate up in the air. You target the same target as the jungler, and you help that person die. Then you become a lot safer because you can land and roll and move up into the team fight and kind of force everybody to group on top of you, and you're already up a god. You're 5-on-4. You win the game. Rat. I think Rat's average. All he does is dive. Late game falls off. Ravana, I think, is super strong. Probably the best, safest, easiest to play jungle in the game. Scylla, I think, is really good. She's still really safe as a mage and one of the better mages. Having Pen on the 2 helps a lot because these tankier gods getting into your lane earlier is a problem for everyone not building Pen. Serket, not safe enough. That's it. She's just not safe enough. You want to build ability base or ability crit base, one or the other. But because you're standing in place so long between the 1 and the ultimate, she's just way too hard to play with all this damage being in the game. Set's getting nerfed again, so I'm not going to put him in super strong. We're going to leave him in good. I think he's still going to be super valuable. His kit just has too much utility. Scotty being played a little bit more, but still not super meta. Not safe enough. Has no mobility. Has no CC immune ult, so she dies a lot. Sobek, I think Sobek's still pretty good. I'm going to throw up in the good tier. Just his disruption in team fights is valuable. You can't really kill him. His ultimate's going to make him unkillable in most team fights. He's the last one to die in a lot of team fights. He has really good dive, really good setup, really good peel and sustain in his kit. So nothing bad with him. Soul, I think Soul is broken along with Olorun. Once again, the Stone of Fall, it's getting nerfed in the next patch, but I don't even know if that's going to be enough. They're unkillable. They can play in mid. They can play an ADC role. They are extremely difficult to kill in your ranked and casual games. They can kind of run around 1v1ing, soloing anybody, can solo a lot of objectives, can push towers very easily. Just nearly impossible to deal with. Wukong, I think Wukong is very good in the solo lane. Just super safe still. That's all it's going to come down to. Susano, a very good jungler right now because of his knockups. You have a pool similar to a knockup. You do a ton of damage with the auto attack canceling. You actually have good pressure at level 1 and level 2 because you get to the lane so early with your up to clear. And then the knockup, the ultimate, is one of the best ultimates in the game. And if you're hitting it on more than one person, you're probably winning the team fight for your team. Sylvanas is going to go into the average tier. Still not quite enough. People are trying to run mannequin builds to get pressure. It's not enough because it just falls off mid-game. Terra, I think Terra is one of the better supports in the game. I almost want to put her in super strong, but we're just going to leave her in good for now. Really good team fight ultimate still, even after all the nerfs and changes she's gone through. Thanatos, I think Thanatos is a good jungler. Semi-risky because late game, if you miss your scythe, you lose the game. But you do so much damage and your teammates do so much damage that usually you can enter fights with an execute, and right then and there you've done enough to, even if you miss a scythe, you're not going to insta die. You're still going to have value in that team fight. The Morrigan, one of the better high pressure mid lane gods, pairs well with all the guardian swaps that you can turn into. Morrigan's a great pick. You can also go Stone of Fall on her and you're unkillable. Thor, I'll throw him in average. I almost want to put him in situational. He's just not as good as the other gods. They're trying to tweak him. Didn't they buff his 3? I think they give him 5% scaling on his 3 or something like that. Yeah, so Thor's going to go on average tier. Thoth, way too easy to dive. Doesn't have hard peel for himself and doesn't have CC immunity, so he's countered by every every guardian warrior and assassin that wants to dive him. Tiamat, super strong, probably the best actual true mage in the game, even though she's not a true mage because she has damage mitigation on her transformation, and she got a CC immune ultimate, and she can spam all of her abilities, and she gets 2 buffs. Just still way too strong, and also having presence on the map when she's not there because of her little creeps. She's banned in pretty much every ranked game I've been in since I started playing ranked again a couple weeks ago. Tsukiyomi is still really good, a little bit more risky to play. Doesn't do as much damage, but his ultimate will still one-shot you. It's still doing between 1 and like 1600 damage at full build. That's insane to deal with. So Tsukiyomi is going to go into the good tier for a jungler. Tier is kind of fallen down a little bit with the warrior changes. We'll see if this next patch does anything. I don't know that it will. So he's sitting in the average tier. Ul is insanely strong, banned a good amount, but not every game. Probably my favorite hunter to have in the game. It's just too much pressure and he doesn't fall off late game anymore. Vamana, poo-poo doo-doo, because you have Tainted to counter Vamana's ultimate. You have gods like Nemesis that are going to kill Vamana. You have so much anti-heal in the game, and then everyone does so much damage that you don't get away with just running at people with Vamana. You die too quick. Vulcan getting the ult buff. I'm going to throw him into average. We'll see if he gets played anymore. I don't think the cooldown buff to his ultimate is enough. Shibalanke with the death toll change might see a little bit more play. I'm going to put him in average for now. We'll see if the next patch buffs him up a little bit. Xing 10, I think, is actually a pretty good support, especially in your ranked and casual games and lower tier, because he's the safest support to play. He has mobility, CC immune ult, heavy CC, good engage, good poke, good shutdown on hunters, good shutdown on these auto attack mages. Worth playing as much as possible if you aren't getting gods like Yamoja or Terra. Yamoja, I would put in super strong, but most people have no idea how to play Yamoja. They just sit around, play backline, and suck. If that's how you play Yamoja, don't play Yamoja. I'm going to leave her in good. Even for you, you'll get away with playing her because all you have to do is press 2. Good players, she'll be super strong, almost broken, because they're pretty much winning the game for their team with the heals, with the setups, with the big ultimates. Even after 8 million nerfs, Yamoja is still super valuable. Ymir, I think, is situational. Whoops, almost poo-poo doo-doo. Too easy to be out of position and way too hard to play around. Nowhere near as good as these other supports that are safer and have better engagements. Zeus getting a buff to his 2. I'm going to put Zeus up in an average. I think the 2 will make him better, but I think since they're nerfing Stone of Fall, it won't buff him up to good. It won't make him take over, because I think we might see these gods fall down a little bit, which would cause him to stay in average tier. Gonna be nice to see what people do with it, see if it's enough or not. I don't know. Zhong Kui, average. All he does is kind of stand there and ult and die. No pressure in any lanes, no super presence in any lanes. I think Zhong Kui is always and probably will always be one of the more average gods in the game. And it's probably a good thing, because if he's strong, he's just very frustrating to deal with. There's the tier list, boys and girls. You just said you feel like Hachi and Heim should switch. You're incorrect. Your opinion is weird. Not that Hachi's bad, but more that Heimdall is insane. When Zeus buff comes, he goes to super strong. No, not even close, bro. You're still playing Zeus, immobile mage that takes a little while to get his damage off. He will be faster. That's great. Think about what you just said. He's going to be faster, so it's going to make him go from a super average god to very strong. Super strong? No. Tiamat's never going to be bad, bro. I mean, Sonofall is getting big nerfs. It's 6% mitigation is being removed. It's a good amount, but I don't know if it's enough. We'll see. I think Soul is strong even without Sonofall, by the way. I don't think you need Sonofall on Soul at all. All around, different story. What's up, Hokage? Yeah, it's 15 power. No one cares about the power on Sonofall, first of all. The power isn't what matters. What matters is the fact that you get 200 health, 40 of each protection, and you take less damage from the mitigations. Now, being at 18% is a lot. Going down to 12 is still a lot of mitigations. So we'll see. What makes Heim so insane? Don't see him played much. He's played all the time at all levels. And it's the fact that he's ungankable because of his 3. The only way you die on Heimdall is if you react super slow or you're not using your 3 properly. Like, you just don't die. Naja probably too high. You might be right. I want Naja to get reworked so bad, Bobby. So bad. They buff her by making the first hit of her 1 do more damage. Or his, whatever. Just
for years after
rework.
seeing you making
Just fully rework,
relationships here
Naja.
for years. My time has come.
Fully rework. I hate Naja. Like, nothing about, like, first of all, if you're playing Assassin Naja and the ultimate's like clapping somebody, then the ultimate's cool. But outside of that, it's garbage. The only other time it came into play was when you used it to take Zhong Kui out of the fight when he ultimated. You're fully committing anytime you use your stun. Your range poke is kind of doo-doo. Your one is kind of doo-doo because nobody's ever in a group of two off to the side getting double ring bounced. And then the healing has fallen off heavily because there's anti-heal if you're not in combat. Naja just doesn't have it. I don't even know what you would do to make Naja better. Give Naja a completely different 2 maybe? I don't know. Yeah, the tier list will be on YouTube. Said Rat falls off late game. What about Rat solo lane? I think Rat solo lane's better than Rat jungle, personally, but I also think Rat solo lane is far worse than like every other god you could play in the solo lane. Cryptis got buffed like 18 times, bro. Cryptis got to keep her redeeming quality of being insanely safe because her 3 is fucking broken and then getting a ton more into the kit. Why is Ardia broken? Never see it in your games. Is she banned in all your games? She's banned in every one of my games. Ardio and Geb are the top 2 banned gods in all of my games. I think Nox is doo-doo. Look, my reason for Nox being doo-doo, at a high level, you can get away with it because everyone is really pinpoint with their mechanics, right? They'll burn beads and they'll be semi-valuable. They won't be as valuable as a lot of these other mages, but you'll find some value in Nox. Anything below diamond, motherfuckers are not hitting their 1-2 combos ever. Ever. You're never hitting your 1-2 combos. I play against Noxes all day and they look like fucking idiots. Occasionally I'll run into a high level player playing Nox and she can be annoying. But you are heavily playing around your team in even those situations. Even if you're one of the beast Nox players, you're still playing way too heavily around your team, which I think is stupid. When you're playing a mage, mages should be able to do their own thing and win fights on their own. And I just think Nox requires way too much shit. If they somehow make it so Nox's 2 is valuable by itself, I think Nox becomes a way more interesting mage and gets played a lot more. Like, if a Nox is played in my Masters game, I'm not freaking out because you're going to get value. You can play around it, but it's a completely different style of play that I don't think is worth it. And I don't think, like, below Diamond, that's ever happening. And I don't think you can tweak Nox because then all the fucking arena kids will lose their minds. No, Kumba is literally a sleeper because he puts you to sleep and then he falls asleep as well while he does nothing. I think Nox's 2 needs to have a detonate like Scylla. But then, if we're really looking at it, Nox is just a shittier Scylla. I like good Sylvanas players, 100%. If a good Sylvanas player is in my game, they're super, like, they just control a lot of the pace of the game because they're so fucking annoying to the other team. That's just rare. Every Sylvanas in my game goes mannequin and is just worthless. Does the Geb nerf just not matter? No, because they nerfed his ult. And like his... Alright, so originally when they announced his ult, and I read the number, if you were watching my stream when I was watching Patch Lunch, I was like, is that right? Is that... It was like 900. I was like, there's no fucking way, right? And then before he even went live, they nerfed it. And then they nerfed it again. It's still a high base damage AoE ultimate that does health and percentage health, where his redeeming quality is actually his shield and his knockup. Like, the thing that you love about Geb is his shield. Then his 2 is right behind that, and his ultimate's his 3rd in line. If Vamana could use ability in ults, bro, that would be actually kind of sick to see ability-based Vamanas being played. I would like to see that shit. That'd be hilarious. He might be OP. You might have to tweak some shit. I'd be down for a rework on Naja and Nox. No matter what, I think it would be better for them. I don't think they need it. I think you could buff them or tweak them, but I'd be down for reworks. Hebo average? Yeah, where the fuck you playing Hebo, my boy? You're not playing Hebo in mid because every mid laner is going to poke you and fucking kill you. You're not going to get to clear the waves. Every single mid laner is going to punish the hell out of you. And if you play in the jungle and you run into any jungler, you're insta-dead. That's what I said. If you give Nox a detonate on 2, it's Scylla. It's worse Scylla. Why is Baka poo? I mean, Baka doesn't do anything. Baka doesn't have a long enough CC immunity in his ultimate, even after the buffs. He has no hard CC. He has no instant burst. Realistically, in my mind, the only way you're playing him is if you're building crit. And if you're building crit, they're building spectral, and you're not killing anybody. You do not farm better than anybody else. You do not have a better early, mid, or late game than anybody else. You don't bring anything to the table at all. You pretty much get carried by your team and run into a fight in ultimate and hope no one turns on you. Persephone, after the passive change, fell off heavily. And nobody knows how to play Persephone, still. No troll, he was the worst mage in the game. Against good players, I'd rather have a Hebo than a Freya. And honestly, I'd rather have a Hebo than a Zhong Kui, in my opinion. But other than those two, I could see the arguments. I hate Zhong players, bro. Every Zhong player I ever see is ass cheeks. But you feel like they gave a god the same type of ability as X-Ball, where early cast is normal and then later in the ability they're CC immune? Honestly, I think Shibilake's 3 is fucking nasty and it would be annoying to play against, but it'd be good. Bro, Zhong Kui players are worthless. Worthless. I like playing Shibilake. Shibilake might be my favorite hunter to actually just play, like pure auto attack based hunter might be my favorite. What's the top tier? Is it the Odin tier? The broken? Yeah. Wait, I mean top tier. So broke like wait, hold on, I'm so confused. I have Odin's in super strong, so like the gods that aren't getting banned but are getting picked all the time, pretty much every game. Because for at least in my rank games, Odin's like banned 1 in 5 games.
I played Vamana once 3
Oh
years ago.
yeah, I have a
built
broken tier above him.
He is S+, you're out of your mind. Smile.
Sounds like you got it all down. Tic Tac, see you in the SPL soon. Loki, thank you for the resub too. So anytime I do lists, like tier lists or top 5 lists, I take into account what's being played at all levels and also how those of you who are watching this tier list will play the gods. Most people watching this tier list are diamond, plat, gold. So I take that into account. Your positioning will not be perfect all the time. Your use of abilities will not be perfect all the time. Your game knowledge will not be perfect all the time. Where there are gods that are top competitive played gods, only because they are played pinpoint perfect all the time. Like someone like Yamoja, like if somebody like you, like a pro support player plays Yamoja, insane, cracked, super annoying. You're never gonna get to do anything. You're gonna hate your life. But like if Ao and Jimmy down the street play each other and Ao's playing Yamoja, he's not gonna do shit. He's not gonna understand the god well enough to do shit. Poo-poo tier when she's nerfed. Is she actually gonna be poo-poo tier, bro? She's gone through 55 nerfs. Her ult's on like a 6-minute cooldown and she's still fucking nuts. Is the Zeus ranked at average with his buffs in mind? Yes. Zeus's problems are the same to me because you're still immobile, your damage still takes time to ramp up, and you still die very quickly. None of his actual problems were addressed with the buff to his 2. I just think he becomes a more aggressive god in a meta where, like, if I'm an assassin and you're Zeus, I'm just gonna dive you over and over again. You can tell, trust, she's trash violent. Hey, I'm down to see it. If she's ass, I'm all about it. Dude, Soul is insane. I am not like I don't put a lot of time and effort in being better than other ranked mid laners, and I play Soul and I fucking punish them. If you had to create a comp with one god from the poo poo tier, which one would you build around? It would be Freya or Nox. 100%. Probably be Nox, sadly. Because I think over the course of my career in the SPL and watching the SPL, I've seen the games that Nox gets pulled out, she actually is valuable. But like, it's so dumb playing around a Nox. Playing around a Nox reminds me of like playing around Fenrir. Like as Fenrir being your only initiator. It just feels so weird. Freya, I don't know. I almost want Freya to be meta again. I miss Freya being played. I think letting Zeus pop his 3 while dead would be good. I think it would be a quality of life change. I don't think it would make him better. Just like they changed it on Scylla, it doesn't really make Scylla better. What's the best though? Soul ADC mid, solo. I think Soul mid is insanely valuable. You have lane pressure, you're super safe, and you can actually take 1v1s and 1v2s if you do go Stonefall. Junglers will not gank you. A lot of mid mages are struggling right now. Like people who play mid are struggling on mages because of how quickly they die and how just hard the position can be. That's why you're seeing random gods coming out and Stone of Fall being so meta. Yeah, I don't think Soul needs Fall at all. I only go Stone of Fall on Soul if I'm being heavy targeted. Olorun needs it 100%. Soul is super safe because you have your healing. You can sit there and drop your 1 and no melee gods will just sit on top of you. Your ultimate is good self-peel. Your 3 is your survivability. Your 2 is self-peel for yourself as well. But if you are getting targeted or you're just bad at the god, Stone of Fall is a massive crutch that will carry you. Like, Stone of Fall is just a crutch. Every average player I'm playing in ranked, people who very clearly have no idea how to play or position are picking Stone of Fall and they don't die. And their position doesn't matter as much. Yeah, if you're getting dove in mid, literally play Morrigan. Play Olorun or Soul if they're up. If they're not up, play Morrigan and just go Stonefall. Go Mannequin Stonefall. Mid lane is basically just arena. In ranked and casuals, it is, bro. It's frustrating. I'll go to mid and I'll kill somebody. And then I'll go to solo and I'll kill somebody. And I'll go to duo and I'll kill somebody. And then as I'm coming out of base, my mid has restarted another fight in mid on their tower line and died. And it's the most annoying fucking thing in the world. It makes no fucking sense. Bobby's saying it's happening in scrims too in the SPL. This shit is so annoying. I don't get it. I'm like, bro, please stop fighting in mid. There's nothing there. Like, I run into the mid lane and I'm like, what the fuck? What are they seeing here? Because there's nothing to do. Like, what the fuck are we fighting for? I literally look everywhere and I can't find any reason to fight. These motherfuckers are on the tower line fighting over and over again. It's not even like you get the tower. They just fight and then walk away. It's for the fog. Dude, that fog gets used like once or twice a game. Maybe. A lead? It's not even a lead though. You have to realize early game Smite doesn't fucking matter right now. It doesn't matter at all. Unless you heavy snowball, like crazy heavy snowball, it doesn't matter. First blood doesn't matter. Second blood doesn't matter. You could legit die 5 times, be down 1,000 gold. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm talking like you have the crazy snowball, bro. And yeah, even if you do snowball, you still are probably gonna throw the game. You snowball and then you think you're fucking unbeatable, but you don't realize that the snowball is on one person. That one person's not in one team fight. You lose a team fight. You lose the game. I pray season 9 of Smite is a bigger map. The data mining says there's talk of a new map. And they haven't really said anything to us publicly about it yet. So I hope the map literally just goes like this. Like they just pull it and it fucking gets spread out. It's twice as wide. All I want in life is to be able to gank a lane and know that the mid laner, unless he left 5 seconds ago, he will not be there. Should be a circle. Not a triangle. Not a square. A fucking circle. Think Sylvanas be in good at least. Feel like is legit. I think a good support player playing Sylvanas, yes. I think an average player playing Sylvanas, no. Isn't the new map twice as big as the last one? Fuck no. No, I think that the map we play on now, they just kind of like scaled it up. Like they made it like 110% instead of 100%. They need to not worry about the overall size and just pull it this way. Bro, if I want to fucking... If I'm in the solo lane, it should take me 6 hours to run to the duo lane. From if I ran straight across the map, 6 hours. 6 fucking hours. Not 6 seconds. I want a map where global ults are valuable again. They don't have to be the end all be all, but they need to be valuable again. Dude, global ults haven't been valuable in Smite in like 6 years. Yeah, I mean, if they're broken, you, like Bobby said, you nerf the cooldown on them. Like, it's the easiest tweak. You go through all the global ult gods and you nerf their cooldown so they can't just keep ganking. Because, yes, if I Thor ult, I do expect to get a kill if I catch you off guard. I don't expect to have the whole team rotate during your Aegis. Because that shit is super, super, super annoying. It's unfun to play a lot of roles. And if the map is wider and you have wards, you're more likely to take 1v1s as ADCs. You're more likely to play solo lane gods that can fight and win 1v1s. You're more likely to fight in the mid lane if they make it away where the jungler isn't babysitting the mid lane the whole game. Like, all the lanes right now are super hesitant to do anything by themselves. You pretty much just fucking farm and then group up. And while, yes, Smite is a team game, that shit is not fun to always, from 3 minutes, have to do everything with your fucking team. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not enjoyable to me. I like it, and I think there's a lot of value there and shit, but, like, I don't think it's as fun for everybody. I really don't think it's as fun as for everybody. I've wanted, dude, even before this map, I was like, they need to just make it wide as fuck. Why can't I get out of this shit? Why is this fucking full screen? Oh, that would have been bad. Said my... I'm not logged in somehow. Oh, because I'm on my new gaming computer. Troll. Gayazo, bingo bango. I want to make sure I have this screenshot so people don't freak out. Boom, boom. Oh wait, ranked is down? The fuck? What did I miss? What did I miss? You hope they keep the concept of mist lanterns? All right, here's my like dream for Smite, right? I hope next season we get the wider map. So there's Bobby's talking about a laning phase, there's fighting, ganks matter, grouping isn't the end all be all at 3 minutes, right? The next season, I hope they build upon whatever issues there are in the game. They keep like testing these things like the fucking moving walls and the growing map and throwing the lancers and shit in there. And then I hope in like season 10 or 11 we hear something or they somehow start implementing a vertical map. That's my fucking dream. Because that's when Smite will regain its skill. And just because you played the game for 15 years, you're not good. kind of like Paragon, but it doesn't need to be as intense. Like keep Smite's map idea, but just add terrain to that bitch. It's not even, it'll make it so you have to aim your shit. That's it. That's what it'll do. You'll have to aim your fucking shit again. I feel like a lot of people have played Smite for so long that they're not actually good at Smite. They've just played it for so long. Like I talked about this when we were watching SPL the other day. Players like Barracuda and Adapting and PBM are not getting worse at all. Smite's skill ceiling is high, but it's not infinite. Most of those people are up there. The only thing they can do is be perfectly consistent, which obviously is what that's how you're winning over and over again. But everyone else can keep getting a little better until they get to that point, and then they are also in a boat where they just have to be consistent. And I think that's where we're at in Smite. I mean, there are people that I play ranked, and I see these names from when I started playing 10 years ago, and they were bronze and gold players when I was a pro player. And they just play so fucking much that eventually they get to a point where they're not bad anymore. I pretty much described it as these players aren't good, they're just not shit anymore. I don't want Paragon graphics in Smite. Fuck that. I don't want that shit. I just want terrain. Like that was one thing about Paragon that was awesome, was the multi-level. You could do a lot of crazy shit. Crazy. If this says some bullshit. Oh yeah, that would be dope. Crazy, you would literally be the only guy there. If you remind me, or if I remember, if I don't remember and you text me tomorrow, just like poophead, I'll remember. I'll give you a link to something that Sammy made. I haven't seen it, so I don't know the link, but I'll get it from Sammy tomorrow. I'm not gonna play Apex now. And that would be very nice, Razy. You can do outplays with Sereth. Is that... I feel like that's a Paragon character that I just don't remember. No, Paragon champions in Smite. Nothing from Paragon needs to come into Smite. I just like the idea of there being verticality in the game. I think verticality is like the next growth stage for Smite, like Smite 2 or whatever. Because verticality will make it so you don't just look forward and aim. You will now have to actually look up and aim, or look like at an angle. You'll have to point, you know what I mean? It will be mechanical skill again, where I feel like most people in Smite, the mechanical skill is it's peaked. Oh yeah, Unreal Engine 2 or 3 does not allow it. They'd have to make Smite 2, and it'd have to be like Unreal Engine 5, which would give us better graphics and a much better game. I really hope that they're working on like a Smite 2 and just not saying shit about it. What the fuck, Tally? You're bringing it back? It's like this. Like they just pull it and it fucking gets spread out. It's twice as wide. Okay, Tally. Fuck you, dude. How do you guys realize that? Like pull these words out perfectly. I don't even think about this shit. I don't think we'll get anything in season 9 or 10. I just really pray that Hi-Rez is working on a Smite 2 for the future. Like 5 years from now. Smite 2 gets announced. They launch it like 7 to 10 years from now. It'd be pretty sick. I don't mean like full blown working on it. I mean like it started. The idea is there. What's up, Kamoa? Thank you for the 2 months. Vagrant, thank you for the 27. Boone, thank you for the primer. Rafiki, thank you for the 14. Tene, hold on, I don't want to butcher your name. Tenebros Desires? I butchered that for sure. Desires, thank you for the sub. Please tell me how to say your name properly. Ragnar, thank you for the gifted. Davey, thank you for the 8 months. Branky with the 7 months. Thank you guys. Yeah, dude, they don't need to do much to Smite in my mind, other than they do need to make it so the skill isn't still capped with Smite 2. Bring the same gods over, similar map, but add some fucking verticality to it, and please, for the love of God, in season 9, make this map wider. They'll pull an Overwatch and almost completely drop the first game. I mean, if they make a Smite 2, I would assume it would literally just be a carryover, almost like a fucking expansion. They had verticality. They could have caves to hide in, could potentially be a place to hide from global alts. I mean, if you take the base of Paragon, yeah, you could go up, down, all the fucking round, dude. I'm worried because data mining, if I read it correctly, it's mentioned, fuck, what are the things called, dude? The, like, blink, the consumable blink. I think it mentioned those. Not blink specifically, but whatever those were called. I'm dead. Rituals. Yeah, they mentioned rituals. I'm dead serious. I think that's what it mentioned. Hold on. Now I gotta go double check. Now you got me fucked up.
On her.
Hold on. Now I gotta look up this shit again. Rogue sent me the data mining for 811, and it's where they said there's a mention of a new map for next year. There's a mention of we're gonna get Shiva as a god, apparently, if this is correct. But I could have sworn I was reading this and it mentioned rituals. Let me see. Maybe not rituals. Maybe it was something else. Hold on. I could have sworn it was rituals though, because they said a return of rituals. What the fuck is it? Oh, yeah. Offer. What the fuck is an offering? It wasn't rituals. It was offerings. What the fuck is an offering? Because it's mentioned. It says offering deployable offerings back ? What the fuck was an offering? Apparently they data mined an offering deployable, so I assume some consumable you put on the ground. So they're thinking maybe ritual or offerings are coming back, but I don't. What the fuck were offerings? I think maybe I think they meant rituals. I'm pretty sure they meant rituals by that.
Who needs protections when I have such great strength?
Yeah, it literally. I'm pretty sure it's rituals. That's why I read that and I was like, no fucking way, bro. Because if it comes back to where everyone has a blink on top of their fucking other blink or Aegis and beads, I'll lose my shit.
Bruise. I'd give that help slow.
So rituals back in the day where you could buy like a potion that was a blink, or you could buy like you could basically buy active as a potion where it was a slightly lesser version, and they were fucking disgustingly dumb. Like, imagine you almost kill the mage and he blinks away, or like you play perfectly, you get a good dive on the mage, but he bought an extra blink and he just gets away. I don't remember how much. Like, my guess would be like 300 gold or 500 gold off the top of my head, but I really don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, I do not remember that time. Honestly, I think my brain like forgot, like literally knocked that time out like it never happened. Oh, we're fucked because you just got full cleared and you're still level 1, bro. I'll try to clear this, but I think you're fucked. Okay. Yeah, you're 1 because you took your fucking dash. Oh, they were 750? Okay. He's still level 1! Hey, you did it, buddy. Man said he's still level 1 like it's a shocker. How the fuck am I still level 1? I don't get it.
Your left tower is under attack. We will end this now, you and I. Enemy missing. Enemy missing right. Missing right. Missing right.
Oh, it's J right. I just realized it's J right. Ah, out of range. Oh, J right got the clapper. Shit on J right. You ain't shit, bitch.
Nice job.
Oh, you're talking about Atlas. Thought you said Shiva. I did say Shiva. Atlas is the next god to come out. He'll probably, she has already been like fully data mined. They data mined his abilities. He's a guardian and he's coming out probably, I'd assume, the end of the year, right at the end of the year or somewhere around there. Shiva was data mined for next year. Oh, you're good, Steve. Shiva's data mined. Yep. Shiva's data mined for next year. Now, see, the thing is with the god data mines, a lot of the time they're not in order, right? Like they data mine Shiva now, but fucking... Okay, I'm not killing this guy. But she ends up being like the 5th god to come out. The one thing I will say though, these data mines are usually semi-accurate. Remember with Tsukiyomi? It got leaked, like all the abilities kind of got leaked and they were like, those aren't correct. They were almost fucking spot on. They were tweaked, but they were almost spot the fuck on. So I'm gonna trust this data mining until it's like just completely off. I think Atlas is gonna get teased next patch. We'll get an Atlas tease in December and then he'll come out like at Worlds, I'd guess, or right before Worlds or some shit.
Your left tower is under attack. Enemy spotted.
Oh, I'm lagging so fucking bad. What the fuck?
Gank right lane.
An enemy has been slain.
Oh, that was so close to being actually worth. Well,
Your right tower is under attack.
yeah, I thought Shiva was a dude. I mean, who the fuck knows though? You're done with this current season? I like Smite right now. I'm just excited for the future because they've been doing so good with the game. I feel like the only way they fuck up season 9 is if they don't give us a new map. I think that was the worst thing they've ever done. Was the years they didn't give us a new map. It was the dumbest fucking thing in the world.
Beware the shifting sand.
Is he a fucking... Oh my god, he's a mystical mill. Come on, Spartan, you're full health. Clap some fucking cheeks and beat some ass, buddy. Two. Oh, he threw it away. GG. Nobody, my team isn't here. Agni's doing... Look at Agni. He just did backs. Nice.
Can you just AFK under the tower?
3 people in left. Smite to League. So in Smite you have to aim everything. In League you do not. In like top down MOBAs you don't. Just straight up. So when I say mechanical skill, I mean like mechanical skill is to me is similar to like shooters, where it's a high mechanical skill to play the game. Its entry point is high skill, right? Oh, you're fucking dead. Live. I got you, buddy. I think Smite's mechanical skill in that way is infinitely higher than League, but I also think it's still kind of a lower ceiling. Like I don't think it's that crazy, other than auto attacks and consistency at that point. I think League strategy is far more there, even competitive level, mid level. I think those top down MOBAs have way more strategy. I think a game like Smite though is way more balanced, where you can play like 100 out of the 120 gods. In League, if I'm not mistaken, it's super limited to what is expected to be played most of the time. So I don't know, like for me, I get why League is so appealing, outside of the fact that it was first. I mean, as a game, I fully understand why people like to play it, but I'd rather play a game with this point of view, with a higher mechanical skill cap rather than a higher strategy skill cap.
Gank left lane. Your right tower is under attack. Your left tower is under attack. Enemy missing.
Fuck.
Why am I so good at the
He missed.
You are trolling.
No. Sylvanas. Fuck.
Is under attack. Help! Your left tower is under attack.
Dude. Please. Bro, hit something. Hit something.
Okay.
An ally has been slain.
More fury for my spear. Your left tower is under attack.
Yeah, there's mechanical skill. He's gonna get fucked.
Good game. And
Bro, he missed his root at the start of that fight, and then missed his ult, and then missed his pull, and then missed 3 autos, and then missed his pull, and then missed his one,
well fought.
and then the dude just got out. And if he was under pressure, I wouldn't be as like critical about it. But motherfucker, bro. Please.
Everyone look away.
Did he just miss his stun on a not moving target?
Can you just AFK under the tower?
Your middle tower is under attack. Yes.
Bro, people always do the
Yes.
unthinkable in my matches. Like, I swear it's harder for you to miss the stun there than for you to hit it.
Enemies in right lane.
They both Jorm? Fuck that. Jorm is a bullshit god. Bullshit shit god. You know what I mean? A shitter bullshit god.
Middle.
Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry. I tried to debate him, but it did not work. There was no debating.
Your left tower is
The
under
hunter
attack.
has become the hunted.
I don't even know what I'm building this game, dude. Soul Eater. And, I don't know, Fail Not or something.
Be careful, middle.
Do you think stage fright is a thing for people in your matches? Yeah, it is. All right, so I'm really bad at, like, I'm really good at reading people. Like, no shot. There's someone back here, right? What the fuck?
You've slain an enemy.
I will still haunt
Anyway, I'm really good at like reading people, but I tend to forget where people are at a lot, if that makes sense. Like I play with Ao, right? Ao's really young. He's 14, 15 right now. And I tend to forget how young he is. So my expectations should change realistically, but they don't. And I know like people get in my game, and I know when I was young, bro, if I played with a pro in Halo, I was losing my shit. Granted, I wasn't choking. I was actually a pretty sweaty boy. Like I farmed many a pros in my day, oddly enough. But like the nerves were there, you know, you were thinking about it. Ooh. Fuck you, bitches. So yeah, I'm sure it happens.
Double kill.
I'm sure a lot of the time you're like, oh fuck, I'm playing against a pro. Like instantly your mental is either shattered, or if they're on your team, you don't want to fuck up. See, for me, I was never like that. I was kind of maybe not the opposite, but if I got people like that in my game, like I got a pro in my game, I tried harder, I was sweatier, and the game was more serious and there was more on the line, even though in reality there wasn't more on the line. That's just like my mental, that's how it shifts. Just like now, what the fuck? What the fuck? If you can't kill him, just fucking surrender now, bro. Bro, you guys are actual ass.
What are you even doing?
Aileron doesn't even have stone to fall. My chalk went fucking on Chile.
Your middle tower is under attack.
This man said, healers in the game? On Chile.
Why am I so good at the game? Catch these hands. Carry me, team.
Is my solo getting his ass beat by a fucking Kepri? He's gonna die, I think. Oh, yeah, he's gonna die. That was a good play from Chalk, but he's still gonna die.
Why am I so good at the game?
Just have 6. You're getting beat by Kepri solo.
To our mistakes.
Thoughts on Chalk mid as a meme pick? As soon as you say meme pick, thoughts don't matter. You're just memeing. My Oleron doesn't even have the right build to win any trades. Like if he was gonna carry me, I'd be down, but that's not gonna happen. I have the support Anubis at my fucking speed buff 4 times in a row. Meanwhile, my support can't hit out ability. And said, did he use relics? Did you do any damage to him?
Okay.
If the answer is no, then there's your answer to whether he used relics. Like this guy's attack him. Attack him. He's a support. Why are you running from the support?
I dare you to sneak up on me.
They killed him. They killed the support. What the fuck just hit me so hard? My soul just got fucked. He is level 18. I'm not gonna lie. He's got a 6 level lead on me.
Attack. Your middle tower is under attack. I walk in darkness.
That is unfortunate.
Your middle tower.
No, this is a casual, bro. These games are insanely unfun to play as the jungler, where you physically watch your team just troll you for the first 15 minutes.
You are trolling.
Enemy spotted. Enemy spotted.
Where the fuck is everybody? How many wards do you guys have?
Enemies in the right jungle.
I think they just have a shit ton of wards, bro. Like a bajillion wards.
Beware the shifting sands.
Enemy missing middle.
I get Apollo ulted, or I haven't even seen the Apollo ult this game. Nope. He's level 19, man isn't ulted. Maybe he's ulting the lane for farm.
Enemies in the right jungle.
Dude, I wouldn't even care if my team's taking my speed buff. They're proxying me on all the farm. My chalk keeps doing my back camps, even though he's butt cheeks. My mid keeps clearing the wave when I'm 2 feet away. Gold's gone for free.
Beware the shifting
Enemies
sands.
incoming. Set up an ambush here.
Beware the shifting sands.
Bruh. What is this? I like Apollo's kit, but it's only a cool kit when the map's bigger. Bye, Chuck.
They are getting bamboozled.
Bamboozle. The boozler.
The hunter has become
Completed.
hunted.
I already did this.
Enemy missing. Your left tower is under attack.
Be careful,
Enemy
right?
spotted.
Fuck your red buff, bitch. This man put a VGS in normal chat? Wait, what do you mean?
Your left tower is under attack.
They should fear me now.
I'd like to be able to post it tomorrow, Tally, if possible. I mean, it doesn't really need to be edited, so.
Beware of shifting sands.
It's not even a challenge.
God damn, bro. Nice. That's a big kill. That's a huge kill if they kill him too. Nice.
An enemy has been slain.
Problem. The lead role is mine.
I think relics need to be looked at more. Some of the upgrades are boring. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Blink upgrade is one of the shittiest upgrades of all fucking time. And honestly, most games I don't even upgrade my actives. I'd say beads are the one active I upgrade as a jungler, just if I'm having used them a million times a game. Outside of that, for upgraded relics, you're looking at like the support relics being the best ones. Your heavenlies, your cursed onks, your fucking shells, your sunders, your phantom veils, horrifics, belt of frenzies. That's where all the value is.
We give to our mistakes.
My CBD sponsorship is actually over. I don't know why it's still spamming, or is it still spamming?
Greetings.
No.
Experience is the name we give to our mistakes.
I need to hit level 20. I need some waves. And to stop splitting with my level 20 teammates.
Defend the Gold Fury.
Bro, you're level 20. Just let me fucking farm. He's got Stone of Fall now. Nice. Fucking A, bro. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. Yeah, Tally. That'd be dope.
Experience is the name we give to our mistakes. Save yourself.
Okay.
Can you just AFK under the tower?
If I'm not streaming of the year, shit's rigged. I mean, I would love to fucking win. Would have loved to win last year. Spectrals are fine, but like the double spectral against just the Wind Demon, and I don't know why they're so worried about it. Give me some anti-heal before that spectral shit.
Why am I so good at the game?
I dare you to sneak up on me.
Experience
Took them a
is the
while.
name we give to our mistakes.
Yeah, the upgraded relics do lack like personality and uniqueness. I agree with that.
Enemies at the fire giant.
Gotta clear these waves, boyos. Toxic Blade should be cheaper.
Board here.
They're gonna go to fire now.
Left leg.
Yo, I thought he just leached from me. Do I go this or do I go mannequin mace first? Where do I go this?
Defend the fire giant. Your team has destroyed a left enemy.
Nah, the blink shit is just, it's dumb. Why do I have damage mitigation for 0.1 second? Just stupid. It could be so much more unique.
What are you even doing?
Oh my gosh, I just ate fucking 15 ultimates.
You saw nothing. You
My Oleron still has his ult. This guy hasn't ulted at the start of a single fight. He's still not ulting. Use a fucking ultimate, bro, please. He's holding his ult for the next fucking game, I guess.
they are getting bamboozled.
That's the ult you chose. You saved your ult to do that.
Your left Phoenix is under attack. No problem. Your left Phoenix has been destroyed. Enemies in middle lane.
Bro, why on earth?
We only part to meet again.
Fuel for the fire.
No.
Okay.
Why is this guy so fucking tanky? Anubis is poo-poo tier if he's not playing against fucking trash-ass fucking Oleruns who don't ult.
Enemies in right lane.
Oh, shocker that they're in right lane. Never would have fucking guessed. Never would have thought that would happen.
Your right tower is under attack. Your right tower has been destroyed.
Thanks.
Your right Phoenix is under attack.
I'm not gonna get enough gold on one of my mannequins.
Has been destroyed.
Can you just AFK under the tower? An ally has been slain.
Oleron still has ult.
Is under attack.
Oleron still has ult. Oleron still has ult. Oleron, are you gonna fucking ult, buddy?
Why am I so good at the game?
He ulted! It did nothing, but he did it! Woo! I hate crit.
Beware the shifting sand.
What a sick Oleron ult, man. Might be the best Oleron player I've ever seen in my life.
On my way.
Enemies in middle lane.
Holy fucking shit, dude. USMC, I don't know what exactly you mean, but no. I usually just solo queue most games.
Well,
You can always donate 20 bucks as long as you're level 80 and you get to play in at least 2 games when I'm doing casuals. No, Tally, just the same shit we did on the last one, dude. Like literally. Like 8.11 tier list. Fucking throw in a screenshot of the tier list from some part of the video halfway through the video or something. What's up, Farkov?
An enemy has been slain.
Good job, Oleron. That was a sick kill. Proud of you. Who did this to me? No, I was just having fun. Fun game. Very, very, very fun game. I had a blast. I don't know about you guys. Yep, that's gonna be it for me tonight. I'm gonna go get some sleep. Gotta do a little bit of running around tomorrow. I'm gonna try to vlog for you guys because I want to show you guys the go-kart because it was just so fucking fun today. It's like I don't know if you've seen like the TikToks or the memes where it's adult, like having adult money, you get to buy dumb shit. Pretty much what I did, and it's just so fucking fun. Yeah, fuck your red buff, Jay. Right. So have a good night, guys. I'll see you tomorrow 7:30 Eastern for some Smite game. Probably gonna do some ranked, but we'll see. So have a good night, guys.